prison is the result of something way deeper. No one is born one day waking up and ask the question, what do you want to be one day? I want to be a career criminal. I want to end up in prison for life. No one says that. The Message Trust is an organization that started 27 years ago in the UK. And part of the story of the Message Trust is to help young men and women from tough neighborhoods and tough upbringings and sort of giving them hope, giving them opportunities again. And so about 3 years ago, the Message Trust moved to South Africa, where it was launched in South Africa. And we have four pillars of which we focus on. The one is we focus on a concept called Eden, which is community transformation, which is headed by Pastor Alistair. And then we have the business, which is the Gangstar Enterprises, that is creating opportunities for young men coming out of prison to be able to find employment through partnerships, through our very own businesses. And in our own business, we've got three concepts, which is the furniture business, the Gangstar Gear, which is the hats that I'm wearing, and then the Soft Machine, which is the ice cream food truck that we have that goes to various film shoots and events. The third part of our business is that we have the organization. We've got Kinetic Ivy, which is a creative band. And you know, music attracts young people. So the band goes to schools and concerts and events, and they do sort of outreaches through music. And then the fourth part of what we do is prison, and that's where I work in. I get to spend some time with the young men in Drakensberg prison, and there we run a message entrepreneurship program. Growing up on the Cape Flats as a young man, going through some of the same struggles that they've gone through with generational issues, father issues, gangsterism, and those kind of things, it's been a challenge for me as a person to sit back and just accept that is life. And so when I was given the opportunity as a young man to pursue a career in professional football, I was given the opportunity to move overseas. And when I moved overseas, my world was open to a whole new world. And when I was there, I made the best of it. And when I eventually retired from football, I asked myself the question, what do I want to do with the rest of my life? And it was an immediate thing for me to come back to Cape Town, come back home, and being able to take all that I've learned across the world and being able to inspire young men to rise above their circumstances. And so when I walk in the neighborhood where I grew up and I see the injustice and I see the lack of vision, the lack of ambition, I'm driven to see young men from these townships, from these communities, being able to rise above their circumstances and make something positive of their lives. In the prison, when we go into the prison at more or less this time of the year, we decide to go into a recruitment process where we present to all the sections in the prison. And when we've presented, we leave them with application forms where they have to apply to the program. And through the application process, we go through the application process. There's criteria, things like when did they drop out of school? Is it more advisable for them to go back to school, or do we bring them into the program because they've got some form of education? And then we also look at their character, where they find themselves at that moment. Are they still involved with the gang, or have they decided to move away from the gang? And then we make that decision based on not necessarily a rigid criteria on academics, but more on character and the person, if the person wants to change. However, then the third part of it, that person goes through an interview process where they have to be interviewed by our staff, and then on that basis we make a decision to take them as one of the 27 young men into our program. And the next question will be, why 27? Because that's the holding cell. That's what the cell takes. So we have a commune cell where all our students goes into one cell. There they form a brotherhood. They can work on their homework together. They can form a relationship, positive relationship, and form a new gang that speaks about positive things.